Welcome to the 2020 Alumni Crowning Achievement Awards celebration. My name is Dr. Thomas Chase. I'm Interim President and Vice Chancellor of the University of Regina. I want to begin by acknowledging that the University of Regina campuses are located on Treaty 4 and Treaty 6 territories. These are the ancestral lands of the Cree, Saulteaux, Dakota, Lakota, and Nakota nations, and the homeland of the Métis.
I'm Christine Yamchik, President of URAA, the University of Regina Alumni Association. On behalf of our volunteer board of directors, representing alumni from the academic faculties and the Centre for Continuing Education, URAA is proud to be the presenting sponsor of these awards, which recognize the best and brightest of our almost 79,000 alumni. Now, although COVID-19 has taken away the opportunity for us to gather, as we have every year for the past 15 years, that does not diminish the prestige of this year's awards or the talents, contributions, and accomplishments of this year's recipients.
Before we begin, I'd like to thank the Alumni Association not only for sponsoring the event, but also for commissioning the design of the Ceramic Award for each of our outstanding recipients. The artist is one of our own alumni, Marc Courtemanche, who currently resides in Quebec. Marc earned the Master of Fine Arts degree in sculpture from our university in 2004, and in 2007, we were fortunate to have him as our artist in residence. According to Marc, and I quote him, "The object that was chosen to represent Western Saskatchewan, and specifically Regina, is a school desk, an old school desk. Why a school desk? Because it signifies institutional culture and evokes our memories of our own school days. The idea of an old school desk came about from my memories of the old abandoned schoolhouses, farmhouses, and churches that can be found across Saskatchewan's beautiful landscape. Thank you very much for creating these beautiful awards."
Our first award is the 2020 Alumni Crowning Achievement Awards Outstanding Young Alumni. This year's recipient is a dedicated advocate, athlete, and volunteer. While a student, she received the President's Medal for her academic achievements and extracurricular involvement. Although she sustained a spinal cord injury in a climbing accident, in 2011 she completed 2 bachelor's degrees in mathematics and education. She is an educator and emerging leader in the field of sex and disability. She is a 2-time world champion in para-canoe, and in 2010 she became the first paraplegic to traverse the rugged Nootka Trail off the west coast of Vancouver Island. For her dedication to advocacy, volunteerism, and athletic prowess, it's my pleasure to announce the 2020 Alumni Crowning Achievement Award for Outstanding Young Alumni is Christine Sallinger.
I met Christine when I was working at Spinal Cord Injury Ontario. At that time, she was a peer support coordinator, working with other individuals who had sustained a spinal cord injury.
For people who have interacted with her by email or over the phone and don't really know her or much about her, the thing I've heard from people is they never realized that she was a person with a disability. And that's a silly thing to say because it shouldn't make a difference.
It's funny thinking back on the time after my spinal injury. Basically, everything was difficult, but realistically, we all deal in comparatives, right? So there were certain things that were more difficult than others, and I think certainly the thing that was the most difficult was how people treated me after my injury. So I felt like I was the same person. I just sat down a lot, right? Like I lost the ability to walk, but nothing else had changed, which realistically wasn't true. Anybody who goes through that kind of trauma, you change as a person.
Definitely Christine's personality is her strongest attribute, and I think that's a combination of so many things, like her lived experience, her education. She's so charming and personable. She's so accepting of others, and that to me is her strongest attribute.
I think her positive attitude is the first thing you encounter, and her smile. Right? It's hard to find her without a smile on her face. She has an extremely positive attitude, looking for ways how things can be done, as opposed to why they can't.
After my injury, I found sport in general because I was looking for that community. I was looking for other people with disabilities that I could learn from, learn, everyday ordinary things like tips and tricks for getting dressed, but also just people that I could be myself around, really kind of unabashedly be all that Christine is as a person with a disability. And so I found the community of people with disabilities through the parasport world. And I kept saying yes to trying out new sports until I came across canoeing and kayaking. And I really found a specific kind of peace and freedom in being in a boat, paddling on the water. And that love of that feeling is what kept me coming back. And because I kept coming back, I got good at it. There's a lot of barriers there that I want to break down, but also for people with disabilities, I want them to have a place and a space that they can talk about sex openly, that they can talk about different accommodations, different adaptations that they have, so that, you know, they're having good sex, because that's what we all want. This award means a lot to me. As an advocate, as an educator, it means that people have heard or seen kind of the material I've put out in the world. And so that really just means the world. It means that the message is getting through. And so it means a lot to me to be receiving this award at all, but especially from the University of Regina. I think of the U of R fondly. I really enjoyed my time there. I really enjoyed learning all the extracurricular activities, working. My life kind of centered around the University of Regina for a long time. So it's just truly an honor to receive this award.
Thank you to our 2020 Alumni Crowning Achievement Award sponsors, our presenting partner, University of Regina Alumni Association, and our award sponsors, BMO University of Regina MasterCard, University of Regina Faculty of Social Work, Association of Professional Engineers and Geoscientists of Saskatchewan, University of Regina Faculty of Arts.
Our next award is the 2020 Distinguished Alumni Award for Humanitarian and Community Service. This year's recipient has made a significant impact on the University of Regina as a student union representative, and as executive director of the UR Pride Center for Sexuality and Gender Diversity. They are a community organizer, support worker, and advocate for marginalized students, faculty, staff, and community members. Through UR Pride, they started several initiatives that have enhanced the overall diversity and strength of the University of Regina, including colorful campus housing and Monarch Mental Health. This year's very deserving recipient of the Distinguished Alumni Award for Humanitarian and Community Service is Jacques Bresser. Congratulations, Jack.
Jack is an exceptional person. They are a community leader and advocate, and really what has stood out for me is their openness and respect for people and their willingness to build bridges.
Their work never stops, I think is the biggest thing. This drive and this vision that they have keeps them pushing to make the world a better place and pushing to do that in tangible and material ways.
So I think just going to university really helped me grow and expand my horizons in a lot of ways. But I think that the thing that's impacted me the most is really the people that I've met. The professors that I've built relationships with who have continued to be professional mentors for me. They have been requested by numerous different organizations to chair particularly difficult meetings or AGMs. They've served on numerous different boards and founded nonprofit organizations themselves.
Jack is deserving of this award because they are an outstanding and exceptional community leader and advocate. They have worked tirelessly at UR Pride, both working with people on campus as well as in the community, and have really been very creative in trying to seek out what programming needs exist, both again within the university and broader community.
That drive and that vision really speaks to just their passion for trying to make the world a better place, especially for queer and trans people, but for everybody, and taking a really intersectional lens to that. Receiving this alumni award, I think means a lot in that
I am one of the first people to criticize the university or to challenge them when they make what I perceive to be mistakes. And so being recognized by an institution that I often challenge to do better, and who, there are enough tweets from me towards the university to probably fill a large room. So yeah, I think being recognized by an institution that I regularly challenge is really cool, and to me that's really what makes the University of Regina special, is that it's willing to listen to that feedback, and it recognizes the importance of having people push back against it, because there's no way to really improve unless you have people challenging you, and so to be celebrated by an institution that I push back against a lot is really humbling.
Your Alumni Association is here for you. As a U of R graduate, you are automatically a member of the Alumni Association, better known as URAA, and entitled to a wide range of special products and services. URAA is led by an elected volunteer board of directors who work to promote the achievements of our alumni and current students while also supporting the development of the University of Regina. As alumni, you have exclusive rates on life and health insurance through our affinity partner, home and auto insurance through our partner TD Insurance, and through our association with BMO, you can sign up for an Air Miles credit card. Other benefits are a U of R library card, discounted fitness and lifestyle center memberships, subscriptions to various electronic newsletters such as Degrees and Alumni Connect. We encourage you to take advantage of the networking and educational opportunities as well. Stay up to date on all this and more by joining the U of R alumni social media channels such as Facebook and LinkedIn groups, or visiting alumni.uregina.ca/URAA. Our next award is the Dr. Robert and Norma Ferguson Award for Outstanding Service. This year's recipient has been a passionate volunteer and supporter of Cougars men's hockey since he attended the University of Regina in the 1980s. During his decades-long service to the team, he has helped raise more than $500,000, ensuring that Cougars men's hockey remains competitive. He began as a student volunteer trainer and equipment manager before moving on to become the assistant coach for the team. More recently, he took on an active role leading Cougars men's hockey alumni events and fundraising activities. His enthusiasm for volunteering is fueled by his desire to see the team succeed and new players achieve their goals. This year's most deserving recipient of the Dr. Robert and Norma Ferguson Award for Outstanding Service is Rob Sharkey Jamont.
The award is called the Outstanding Service Award. And when I think about that term, outstanding service, I think of people who give up their time and energy to a cause or to an organization of some kind for a long period of time. And Rob has done that. I mean, he, in my mind anyway, embodies the qualities of what this award is looking for.
Robert has, many good qualities, but probably one of the first things that you really know about Robert is he is extremely unselfish and extremely a hardworking person, no matter what kind of venture that he gets himself into.
This may sound selfish, but my fuel for volunteering is not. It's for the greater good of the players, if you will. When I see the young guys come in and they get a chance to achieve their goals and accomplish something, whether it's education and hockey or just one or the other, and I get to meet them and see them grow and become lifelong friends, as many of them have over the years, that fuels the desire in me to make it better for those next guys that come up.
I think Robert is really deserving of this award because I don't know of anybody else who's put in the amount of time that he has. This isn't something that he's done for a year or two. It's something that he has basically dedicated his life to after he graduated from university, and the amount of time he's put in, the amount of money that he has raised as far as fundraising to help with the University of Regina hockey teams has been absolutely phenomenal.
At every event, he was there front and center, He emceed every event, and he took all the money at every event, and he just made the events. And I think that really impressed me about him because of his consistency in terms of, and energy in terms of making those events go.
I wouldn't be anywhere near where I am today if I hadn't become a part of the university hockey team and finished my university education. And you can't even imagine what that would look like without it. So it's critical that I had this opportunity, and it's helped. It's 100% why I'm where I'm at. You volunteer because you're trying to do something better or make something better along the way. So the award is humbling, but I think it's a greater recognition of what Cougar Hockey Alumni has done overall. But I will not, I cannot say enough how much it is a reflection of the organization Cougar Hockey Alumni itself. Although my name's on the award and my face is in the magazine per se, it's the greater good of all the alumni that have come through the program, that have supported all the activities that we've done, whether just showing up and attending or whether they're part of the organizing committee or been on the board over the years. That to me is the greater sign of the success of the Cougar Hockey Alumni, and what we've all done is by one of us being recognized for this award.
The next award is presented to the 2020 Distinguished Professional Achievement recipient and recognizes exceptional contributions in career and community. This year's recipient has demonstrated outstanding dedication and perseverance in her life and career. She's been a leader in the field of education for 30 years as a teacher, principal, and director of education. She's also a vocal advocate for the preservation of Indigenous language and culture and has served as a role model for many. She has overcome many obstacles to become the respected trailblazer that we see today. She is a residential school survivor who persevered, despite being taunted and despite being forbidden to speak her own language. She defied cultural expectations with her education and career path and paved the way for other women in her community and beyond. The 2020 recipient of the Distinguished Professional Achievement Award is Rosalie Tassani Burseth. Congratulations, Rosalie.
Rosalie is a residential school survivor. She was a single mom for many years. She pursued different dreams than did other community members or her contemporaries, and she's become a very positive role model.
Most I've been impressed with Rosalie is her dedication to education, whether it was a chief or school administrator or associate director of education. Her focus has always been on her commitment and dedication to education, and specifically above that, First Nation language and culture programming.
So what really resonated with me at residential school was the curriculum. And I often wondered if I were taught in my language and my culture and my social environment and my epistemology, I wonder what it would have been like. It would have been easier, but it just seems that's the way life was. And I adapted quickly to the environment of the South.
As a young girl, Rosalie had a vision, and as she matured, she was able to articulate that vision and passionately move forward with it. And now she's driving that dream to fruition. She's proud of her heritage, and she wants community members and other First Nations to feel the same pride and sense of self.
I think Rosalie, one of her strongest attributes is that she has a very clear focus. Over all the years that I've worked with her, she's been very focused on the development of children's education programs. She's been very focused on their future by helping develop strong programs. And especially, again, around the culture of the Dene people, the language of the Dene people, the history of the people of the Athabasca Basin.
I would like for everybody to understand the importance of language and to help and support Indigenous language initiatives, whereby if it's revitalization, maintaining or building the strength of languages, or just starting from ground zero, that would be the support that I would like to see, and also to honor any language, not only Dene, but any language of Indigenous peoples. Also to assist in developing languages. In Saskatchewan, we have 5 Indigenous languages. So to help with building that curriculum up in terms, whether it's in technology or in the classroom itself. I am humbled by it to prove that I am a good educator, good teacher in the classroom, that I make a difference in the community, whether it's my community at home or in Saskatchewan itself, that I earn my role as a role model in education. It means a lot to me that I have made a difference in many, many lives.
It's time now to announce the 2020 Alumni Crowning Achievement Award for Lifetime Achievement. This year's recipient has enjoyed a dynamic career and is one of the most respected members of Saskatchewan's engineering community. In addition to her professional accomplishments, she has been a tireless volunteer in the community, raising more than $40,000 for CIBC Run for the Cure and serving many organizations. She was named a Woman of Distinction by the Regina YWCA in the Science and Technology category and is also a recipient of the Regina Engineering Society's Engineering Excellence and Volunteer Awards. In 2019, she was the first woman to receive the Association of Consulting Engineering Companies, Saskatchewan's Lieutenant Governor's Meritorious Achievement Award. She is also the first female University of Regina engineering graduate to be recognized with an Alumni Crowning Achievement Award. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lifetime Achievement Award is awarded to Shauna Argue.
I first met Shauna when she began volunteering with the Association of Professional Engineers and Geoscientists of Saskatchewan. In due course, being a volunteer, she decided to run for council, was successful, and in 2010 was elected president of the association.
And really, above all else, I can say that Shauna conducts herself professionally in everything that she does. So when you're working with her on a project, it's great. She's the sort of person that you want to be on her team or you want to have her on your team.
I actually wanted to be a veterinarian for as long as I could remember. And when I got into grade 12 biology, I decided that it wasn't for me. Not that I didn't like it, it just didn't come as naturally to me as physics and chemistry and algebra and geometry and all those things that engineers deal with. So when I told my dad I wasn't going to go into veterinary medicine, and I thought I might take computer science, he decided that I should be an engineer. The reason for that was because he was the HR superintendent for SaskPower at the time, and he was traveling all over the country hiring engineers, and he knew that there was a demand for engineers, so he thought it would be a good fit for me. I was fairly shy going into university, and being one of the only 3 women in the faculty at the time in my year of 30 students, you quickly learned how to, stand up for yourself and be confident and take charge of your own situation. Also, again, there are a lot of people that I dealt with over the years through my university career have become long friends, whether they were professors or fellow students. Some of the students that I went to university with, I'm still lifelong friends with. We still do things together today. And I still interact with some of the professors that I had through my involvement with APEG. So there's been a lot of mentors throughout my life, and some of those go back as far as my university career.
She leads teams quietly, but is able to get the best out of an individual on those teams. She leaves things better than she originally found them. When she volunteers, she's not adverse to taking the lead role, but can lead by example as well.
She had her own consulting firm for, I think it was 20 or 25 years. And she's now working at the Association of Professional Engineers and Geoscientists of Saskatchewan, where she's doing some amazing things. So her engineering career in and of itself has been very impressive. Outside of that, Shauna has been volunteering within the community in a variety of ways throughout her whole life. So based on her career and her volunteerism, she really is an excellent candidate for this recognition, and I'm so happy that she's receiving this award.
Volunteering has also been a highlight of mine throughout my profession, my professional life, that I always have enjoyed giving back to the profession. I thought I had gotten so much out of my profession that I should give back to the profession, and primarily I did that through my volunteer work with APEGS. But then I found as I did volunteer, I learned more and more about my profession. So I was always constantly getting from my profession while I thought I was giving back as well. So the other thing that's great about volunteering is you meet a whole bunch of different people, right? So it's not necessarily people that you would interact with in your daily professional life. And again, some of those people have become lifelong friends. It also provided me with an opportunity to meet new people as mentors that helped me through my career, not only in my volunteering capacity, but also in my professional life as well. So I've always tried to volunteer throughout my life. I do like to do some things outside of my profession as volunteering as well. So for example, I was on the City of Regina's Off-Leash Dog Park Committee for the first dog park that was established here in Regina out by the airport. And currently I also sit on the Board of Governors for the Royal Regina Golf Club. So my experience on council with APEGS gave me that governance background that has helped me now on that board to help govern the affairs of the Royal Regina Golf Club as well. I was very surprised when I got the call notifying me that I was receiving this award, and quite humbled and honored. And it's quite an experience to be recognized by your colleagues and friends in the profession, and especially by the faculty. I mean, I've been away from the faculty for over 30 years now, and to be recognized in this way is a great honor. And I'm quite humbled by the experience and very excited to be receiving the award.
Thank you so much for joining us for the 2020 Alumni Crowning Achievement Awards. I want to congratulate all recipients and thank them again for their many contributions to the communities that surround and support our university. I'm sure that you will agree that the 2020 recipients are most deserving of this recognition. The nominations for the 2021 Alumni Crowning Achievement Awards are now open, and I encourage you to consider nominating one of our distinguished alumni. We hope that the 2021 edition of the Alumni Crowning Achievement Awards will allow us to gather in person once again to celebrate the achievements of our most deserving alumni. In the meantime, thank you very much for supporting the University of Regina, and all good wishes for 2021.